Welcome to Barrel Brothers. Background first, you know I like to waffle on. The Sportsvan. So we've been sort of neglecting it a little bit. You saw we did the engine mount a little while ago, but you might have noticed that the poor old Strawberries are in a bit of a state. They are going to need to come off and be cleaned up. All four of them have rash. Thanks, Elliot Dollison. He's not wholly to blame here. Wholly to blame. Anyway, the poor old Strawberries, they need to be cleaned up. I don't think we'll ever sell those ones because they are just, that is the pinnacle of wheels for this sort of van. And there is no way that we could ever do better, and they're the only set in the world like that, and I don't think they might even end up on the wall here. I don't know, but I don't think they're going to get too far from us. Anyway, so we started looking around for another wheel for it and found these. Panasport C8R, 4x100, full 3-piece so that they bolt apart and whatnot. So yeah, how cute are they? And what a sporting type of wheel for what is, after all, the Sportsvan. As I said in the other one, it's not strawberry fields forever. This is the Sportsvan, so we need to do some sports. So this is what we found to do it. There's a couple of little things about the Strawberries that you might not notice at first glance, but the front wheels are actually wider than the rear. We built them at a stagger, which we shouldn't have done, and then they stuck out too far at the back, and the only way we get away with that is to put them on the front and like wind in a fair bit of camber, which looks great, but they're actually half an inch wider on the front than they are on the back. And it's got a lot of camber in it, which makes it a little bit of a bitch to drive, but you know, it's not too bad. It's surprisingly not too bad. We've got to change that bearing in the diff again because we bashed the... Anyway, I talked about that last time. So, we got these guys here. Now, the only problem that we have with these is, as I said, we're going to build these as a square set. To get them sitting the same as the back ones means a 3-inch lip on them, which is going to sit out about there. We're thinking about a different treatment for the centre. Our problem is it's got these massive barrels on them. These are a 7-inch wide. Is that upside down? Oh, it's right way up. 7-inch wide wheel. For us to put a 3-inch lip on there, we're going to end up with a 9-inch wide wheel, which is the same as the front, but it will be poking the same as the back. So basically, the barrel on these is half an inch wider than what we've got on there at the moment. So, I don't want to put barrels on it because I'm a cheapskate. It is a work truck after all. We all love it though. So they're going to be 9s. We just put some new tyres on it. They're bloody fabulous. So those will be going onto it. But we need to do some bigger lips for it. So this is number 1. These are a little 6mm high tensile bolt. I think, but they're pretty crappy looking. I mean, the wheels are in very good condition. They're all dead straight. I mean, look, that's really quite clean on the inside. They're beautiful. I think they were used as a race wheel because the wheel weights were all taped on. So, yeah, I think it should look pretty good and sporting, but they will be 9-inch wide. I think we might replace these. Rather than with a 12-point, we'll put just a high tensile 6mm cap screw with our aluminium washers on the front. These ones don't have a nut on the back. They have these, the thing all Panasports uses, these little sunk-in, they sort of wedge themselves in. They're pretty cool actually. But that's all going to have to come out. They're so cute. They are so cute. I don't know what we're going to do for a centre cap because the smallest centre cap that we do is miles too big for it. What we need to do is get them all apart and we'll get them dunked, the centres dunked and blasted, and see what sort of a finish is on the alloy underneath all this thick looking paint. So I thought we'll whip this apart. So I've got a a lip out of stock, and we'll just see if it actually fits. I think it's pretty close. Oh, actually, you don't want to come apart. Oh, I saw you move then. I'm trying to fake me out. Sports have this seal thing in between them. I don't think these ones have ever been apart. So you want to be fairly careful when you take them apart. You don't want to bend it. What do you know? It's starting to rain again. Like for weeks. 1 inch lip, 3 inch lip. Oh, close. And it'll take a little bit of machining to just on the spigot diameter there, but that'll go straight on. This is the seal I was telling you about. It's quite clever actually, just they get a bit old. I have a feeling these were race car wheels, but what race car? See, it's I presume vulcanized, but that's alloy, and that's a seal that's sort of vulcanized to it or glued to it around the outer edge, and is actually sort of wedge shaped. So that goes in the corner there, and everything's spun very precisely to size, and it sits in there. The actual centre of the wheel mounts in from the rear in this particular case, and they have these little pull-in gizmos that wedge themselves in. Those would be very handy, I think, in a few instances where you haven't got much brake clearance, or you know something's getting very close to the bolt heads. If we had something like that, maybe in an M7 or an M8. I digress. This is going to look good. So I don't know if it's rough cast or what. It looks rough cast underneath. You can see the lumps and bumps there, but I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of corrosion under the paint. Till we get the paint off, we won't know. Yeah, that's really good. Look at that. Look at the machining. Fine, that's good. I'm waffling. Machine the spigot out to fit. Silver, they're not remaining. We're going to try something out, whether it works or not. If it doesn't work, it'll be straight back into the dank tank, and we'll try something else. Okay, we've got all the seats knocked out, and we've knocked the little threaded bushy things that they have in. They're actually splined. We've never actually taken them out before for this one. And we've got the lips machined up, moving right along. Got to make sure that the lights are on super bright when we're taking it out, just like the other YouTube channels. I've just finished powder coating. Well, I haven't just finished it. I've just finished putting the powder on. Put something there for your knee. And they've just gone into the oven. See? Mine's about half done. Check the colour out. I did one already as a test to see whether I was actually going to like it or not. Shoot up from here so don't get double chin. And this is without the light on. I don't mind. I don't mind the colour. I don't mind the colour. Now I've just got to go and vacuum the red off everything. It was a bloodbath. I'll come back when all the colour's done. I've got my Oxytec Mickey Mouse gloves on. So what do you reckon? I do like the colour. Okay, now we've just got to let them cool down. Can't put them together yet because we've got to do a sand and polish on the lips, and then we're going to clear powder coat those just to make them easy to look after. They look hot. Cool, I think this is actually going to work because we weren't sure. We really weren't sure on whether that was going to work or not. Okay, things didn't quite go as planned here. So we had a couple of problems. Sort of started off with this. Now, I haven't basically cooked them enough, so it hasn't glued itself onto the alloy. So when I peeled the tape, all this tape off the side, before I even did it with this one, it's all started coming off. The only one that was good was the first one that we did, which was this one here. So I thought what I'll try and do, put a little bit more powder coat on, because I've learned all this, you can't. So it's just the problem with powder coating. You can't fix a little bit. So I tried putting, I thought, well, the boys have had a bit of success doing stuff hot, like heating them up first. So I tried that, put some on, ended up with this. So what I sprayed on just glued itself on straight up, and then that looks terrible. I don't know if you can see the wall. Compare it to this. You can see the difference between, you know, here and here. So here's the dilemma. So I've got to take it back all off, and powder coat's a bitch to get off. Paint's a damn sight easier, but you know, there's swings and roundabouts. Paint colours, you can get better colours. Powder coat is a much harder finish. It's also a lot more difficult to get off. Paint you can fix a little bit. Powder coat, yeah. So my problem is that I need to get all this back off. Now, I'm going to chuck them in the dunk tank. My problem is the polished finish. I can't blast them because that'll ruin that. And because the surfaces, when you use a vibratory polisher, it actually really hardens the surface on them. So what I'm going to do is I'll chuck them in the dank tank and see if it takes them off. We've got a buzz tank here, buzz tank, well, it goes buzz, it's an ultrasonic tank, which also might take it off a little bit better, but we'll see how we go. As I said, I can't blast it, that'll ruin the polish, but I don't know if it's going to ruin the polish by putting them in the dunk tank anyway. So I've given myself quite a bit of work by not doing it properly in the first place, and not listening to Scotty over at Oxytech. He gave me all the facts and figures, and I was, yeah, you know, the boys will listen, except that the boys aren't here anymore, so it's just me. So, bugger. Alrighty, so here we go. Into the dank tank they go. I hope this turns out alright. Well, I couldn't leave it as they were, so I hate screwing stuff up like that. Oh yes, look. Yeah, that's all coming off. Great, okay. So I'll give these a pressure wash, and we'll go from there, I think. I don't have to blast them, which is good. Cool. Okay, this looks like it's worked pretty well. I mean, they're gonna have to go back in for a little bit more, but yeah, like a lot of it's come off, which is really good. You might notice that I'm covered in bits of red powder coat and I'm saturated. When you pressure wash stuff, you know, and it goes into a cup shape, it comes back at you at some velocity. That's good. It looks like we still got the polish. So I had a talk with Tommy over at Produce Factory. He's the like, really good at doing powder coaty sort of stuff, and he gave me a few pointers on getting it. Basically, if we get all of this off, we'll chuck it back in the machine, maybe give it 10-20 minutes, half an hour or something or other, just to get the polish back on, and then get them all nice and clean and have another go. That's it. I need to go and clean my glasses. I can't see a damn thing. Hello, is anybody out there? Alrighty, that powder coat was a super bitch to get off, so we're back here again. Put them back through another row or round of sanding, so that looks like it could be going to turn out pretty good. And then we'll try and put the powder on again. Learn things the hard way. It's the best way to learn things because you don't forget. Oh, that looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. It's better than was before, actually. More polishing is always good, but yeah. Alright, so we'll get these two out and get those other two in. There you go. It's a pretty good before and after for you. Right there. Here it is, boys and girls, the moment of truth. So the first test is supposed to be, oh, it looks pretty good. If you fold, like, you can see the powder coat on there, if you fold it over, it doesn't crack. Alright, so it looks like we've got this one cooked correctly. Promising, promising, very, very, very promising. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, it's staying on too. How unprofessional. Chinese robo-caller. I decided I didn't want to do the whole thing, just the front, because that's the only bit that we're actually going to see. I'm going to call that pretty much a complete success. As you can see, we've got a little bit of fur here, but that's just a case of trimming that down, and away we go. Looks damn good too. Moment of truth. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I really do. It'll suit the theme. We need to get it on the van though. Still a fair bit of work to do. Alrighty, so all we're going to do now is get the lips set and polished, and we can actually put these little suckers together. So, but that's it for this episode. I'll save that for another one, and thanks for watching. See you next time.